Hello Crochet Lovelies, it's Diane here. Welcome back and thank you so much for clicking on this video. I'm back with another crochet project for you. A blanket or sofa throw in the beautiful ripple stitch. It's turned out lovely. It's soft and warm and just nice to throw around your shoulders on these chilly days. I've made this pattern as simple as possible, as I know that sometimes the ripple stitch can get a bit confusing with the increasing and decreasing of stitches, counting in between the top and bottom of the zigzags. So in this video, I'll show you a nice easy way of making this lovely pattern. So if you'd like to give this a try, grab your favourite yarn and a cuppa and come and crochet with me. Okay guys, so today I'm using a grey and white, and the make is Demora's Essential DK, so it's a double knit yarn and it's 100% acrylic. Each one is 100 grams and it's 295 meters in each one. This grey colour is called Slate, and this one I guess is just white. How about that? Is white. It recommends to use 4mm hook size, but today I'm going to use a 5.5mm hook size because I want it to be a little more flowy and soft. So let's begin. So let's get the end of the yarn. Now we are going to start our foundation chain in multiples of 17. So do your slip knot. Let's bring in the camera slightly. So I'm just doing a swatch today. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Now that 17 would be one triangle of your ripple stitch. So I'll do another 2 lots of 17. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. One more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So that's 3 lots of 17. And what you would do for your blanket is you would continue on doing multiples of 17 until you have reached the width that you want your blanket to be. But for now, we will just work with this swatch size. So for row 1, we are going to half double crochet into the 4th chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4, yarn over, put your hook in there, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Now this is going to count as 2 stitches. So an 8 is the number of stitches we are going to do in between every single peak and valley of your ripple or chevron stitch. So we've done 2, yarn over, put your hook into the next one, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So we can double check. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So then you chain 2 and half double crochet into the same stitch that you've just worked. And when you do this next stitch, you start counting your stitches again straight away. So this one would be 1, and then you half double crochet into the next stitch, the very next stitch, and that would be 2, half double crochet into the next, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. There is always going to be, you're always going to count 8 stitches, 8 going up and 8 coming down. Keep this stitch nice and simple. So now we need to make the valley, as I call it, of the dip. So to do that, we just skip 2 stitches. So 1, 2, yarn over and half double crochet into that 3rd. And this straight away we start counting 1. And then you go into the next stitch, half double crochet, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 and 8. So chain 2, and after the chain 2 we always put the next one into the stitch just worked, but this counts as the first stitch of the next lot of 8. So yarn over, put your hook through, make your half double crochet, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we've just done the peak, and now we do the valley, and the valley is quite simply skip 2 stitches. So 1, 2, and half double crochet into the next, and that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, chain 2, some more wool, and then we start counting again, but remembering to put it into the same, when it's the peak, you put the next half double crochet into the same stitch you've just worked after you've chained 2, but count that as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And this is what your work should look like. Obviously yours will be a lot longer. It's up and down, up and down. So let's go to row 2. Now we're just going to chain 2, turn our work, get a little bit more yarn, Okay, so to keep the edges straight, and instead of stitching 2 stitches together, etc., etc., I'm literally going to skip that first stitch. This chain 3 here acts as your first stitch, so that's 1. Skip that first stitch, that first one there, and we're working into the back loop only. So put your hook into the back loop and make your half double crochet. So that is 2 stitches, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now the 8th stitch, because it's always going to be 8, we're going to work into the chain 2 space. So hook in there, make your half double crochet, and that is number 8. So then you chain 2, and we're going to work the first stitch of the next 8 into the chain 2 space as well. So yarn over, put the hook into the chain 2 space, make your half double crochet, and that's 1. Now the second one, see this stitch here from the row below, just use that as your guide to where to put the second one, and it's just at the top of there in the back loop only. Half double crochet, and that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I will just check that. So this one counts as the number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. And now we skip 2 chains. So skip this one, and half double crochet into that one. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now sometimes the 7th one is in the side of this chain 2. That is absolutely fine. Being a bit awkward there. So that's number 7. And number 8 goes into the chain 2 space. 8, chain 2, and then you start your counting again. So 1, and that one being into the chain 2 space. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And straight away you can see we're at the skip 2 chains. So yarn over, skip those 2 chains, and start your counting again already. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 goes into the chain 2 space. Then chain 2, and start the counting again. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Apologies if I keep going off camera there. 5, 6, 7, and you'll see that we have 2 stitches left, but we will always do 8. Always do 8. So instead of making it complicated and crocheting 2 stitches together, I just skip a stitch, and I'll always put the last one, make sure the last one goes into that chain, top of the chain, turning chain. And at the edges, I'll pop it through both legs of the stitch, keep the edges nice and strong. Put your last half double crochet in there. Then chain 2, turn your work, and you start to see a nice pattern beginning, and that is your row. 1 row repeat is row 2. Just continue on doing row 2. Let's just make a start on this one. So That's your first stitch. So 1, and remember, skip the first stitch and half double crochet into the back loop of that second one. That's 2 stitches, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and number 8 goes into the chain 2 space. That's number 8, chain 2, and start the 8 count again. So that's 1, 2, 3, and so on. So finish this row. Rewind the video if you need to just check how to do row 2 again, but I will meet you at the end of this row to just to finish off this row. So we're arriving at the end of this row, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stitches there. So put 1 more in here, so that's 7, and instead of working into the back loop of this one, I want you to work a half double crochet into the top of your turning chain. And this will keep your edges nice and straight. And you start your next row, chain 2, and that's your first stitch. So that's 1 stitch, and don't forget to skip this one, skip this stitch. So yarn over, crochet into that one, and that is, so there's your two stitches. So hopefully that will keep you going for a little while, row after row, and I'm going to crochet a few more rows now to the point where I want to change to the white colour, and you can change your colours as often as you like. So I'll see you when we want to change colour, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so I've coming to the end of row 10. I've decided to do 10 rows of the grey and 10 rows in the white. So obviously you can do as many rows in each colour as you like, but I just wanted to quickly show you how to change colour. So when you do this as you've coming to the end of the row, and I'll just undo a stitch to show you. So we put coming to the end of the row, you put in the half double crochet there, and the next stitch would be going into here. But first of all, get your next colour ready. So here's my next colour, which is the white. And to change to the white colour, or the next colour is you start your stitch as normal, so yarn over and put your hook through and place down your grey colour or your previous colour and grab your next colour. Hook it onto your crochet hook like this and hold on to it, and you pull this one through instead of the grey. So you've got your two grey loops and the new colour there, new colour coming in there. Then just drop that tail end down and start to work with your new colour. So you yarn over and you finish your stitch, pulling through all 3 loops like that. And there you have changed colour. And at this point, what I like to do is just to secure everything so it doesn't start coming loose, you snip off the grey, and what I like to do is these 2 tail ends here, this is the beginning of the white, end of the grey, tie that into just an overhand knot, not too tight, just to secure it in place so it doesn't start coming undone. And there you go, and you just continue from there. So you would chain up 2 and turn your work, and don't forget, obviously this chain starts as your first stitch, and you skip this stitch and start to work your half double crochets in the back loop only with your new colour. And that is how you change colour. Obviously, when you finish your blanket, or you can do it as you go along, you can sew in your ends. And to do that, you grab your darning needle and just thread onto there and just weave the yarn in and out of a few stitches, pulling that through. And then just to make sure it's secure, make a little loop here and pull that yarn back through. Just put it into a loose knot just to secure it, and you can then snip off your ends there, and obviously keep going weaving in all your ends. So keep crocheting now. I will do another 10 rows with the white and then change colour back to the grey. So keep crocheting to the length that you want your blanket to be. Okay, so I've done 1 or 2 more rows in the white just to give you an idea of the beautiful effect it has. It gives a lovely texture working in the back loop only, and obviously as the bigger the blanket grows, the more luscious it is. So thank you for watching this video. If you've any questions at all, just pop it in the comments section below. But in the meantime, enjoy your crochet.